Hey there, everybody. Let's go over the procedures for selecting your microscope out of the cabinet, setting it up at your bench, and also putting it away properly. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the microscope. Okay, cabinet's behind me here, right? So there's a bunch of scopes. I'm going to do a couple things. One is I'm going to make sure that I select my microscope. Okay, my microscope. I know what my microscope number is. Let's just say that my microscope number is 25. All right, 25. So if my microscope number is 25, I'm going to come over to the cabinet and I'm going to look for microscope 25. Okay, is that 25? Nope, that's 15. Wait, I want this cabinet open. Oh, there's a clip. There's a clip right here. I got to go in and see that clip. Oh, it's like magic. But if I know where it is, then I can open this side and, oh my gosh, still not 25. Oh, wait a minute. They're in order. Okay, so let's see. 24 down there. Oh, excellent. 25. 25. There's my microscope number. All right. So notice that the cabinet number 25 and the microscope says, can you see that? S25. So S25 goes in spot 25. I'm in good shape. I cannot hold the microscope while I'm holding the camera because I need both my hands. So I'm going to come over here. Can you see this? Can you see what I'm doing over here? Okay, I'm right-handed. Right, if I was left-handed, then I could use my left hand, but I'm right-handed, so there's a little spot here for you to stick your fingers in the microscope. Okay, kind of a handle, right, on the neck of the scope. Notice that the ocular lenses are facing the back of the cabinet. Okay, not the front, the back of the cabinet. That's the way they should be, and when you're done, that's the way it still should be. So I'm going to grab the microscope with my right hand. I'm going to gently lift and pull, and I see how I'm doing. See what I'm doing with my left hand? I'm putting my left hand under, okay, under the base. So you should always carry your microscope two-handed, right? Don't do this. Yes, I'm cool. My biceps are huge. Get a little workout here while I carry my microscope back to my bench. No go, okay? Go to the gym later, okay? For now, two hands, right? One hand up here on the neck. That doesn't matter which hand. I'm right-handed, so my right hand's in here. My left hand under the base, okay? So I'm supporting it like this. This is always the way you carry around your microscope. I'll see you guys later. Okay, I'm back. All right. So I'm going to take, let's just say that this is my bench right here. Now, okay, there we go. All right, I've successfully got my microscope back to my bench, and notice that I've situated it so that the oculars are out facing me. So when I sit down, they're that way, right? Look at how the cord's wrapped around. Okay, this is okay. You're going to carefully get your cord unwrapped. Okay, and plug her in. Right now, if you let me bring this over here. Here we go. All right, so remember this is the on-off button, okay? I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to make sure that I can see some light. Oh, good. That means I've actually got power, okay? If you turn it on and you get nothing, like that, I want you to do something before you come and tell me that your microscope doesn't work. I want you to turn this knob up. Look what happens Look back here as I turn this knob up. Let there be light. Whoa. Magic. Okay. I got power. I'm plugged in. I got power. Now I'm ready to roll. I've showed you how to use the scope in a different video. So now let's pretend that you've used the scope and you're done. Okay. One thing I should add is if the scope was properly cleaned, whoever used it last, if they did a good job of putting it away and cleaning it before they put it away, like all of my students do, then you don't need to start by cleaning the scope. However, I will say that that doesn't always happen like it's supposed to, right? So you might need to clean the microscope, okay? If you need to clean the microscope, there are, in these drawers here, community drawers, which are at the top, all right? There are lens papers, okay? Only clean microscopes using the proper lens paper, okay? Lens paper, not paper towels, not the sleeve of your lab coat, none of that. Lens paper, right? So when you set up your scope, when you put your slide in there, if things aren't going good, or you see some oil. First of all, if you see oil on a scope, or you see something wrong with your scope, rat on whoever used it last, okay? Tell me, because it's not okay to leave the microscope dirty with oil on it or improperly put away, right? So tell me first, show me, then do what you got to do to fix it. Clean it, okay, using lens paper, whatever you got to do. Then use it, okay? Use it. When you're done, clean it. Clean it really good, right? Get your lens paper. Better make sure that there is, okay, no oil, okay? When you use the oil immersion lens, the worst thing that you can do is leave oil anywhere on this microscope. Don't do it, all right? So you need to make sure that you, in particular, clean that oil immersion lens really good, okay? Got your lens paper. Notice if you push up gently, it'll actually give, okay? That's where oil will get trapped up in there. It's designed to give a little bit. You can push it, okay? And what I'll do is when you tell me you're done, okay, you have to check out your scope with me before you put it in the cabinet. So I'll come around with some lens paper, and you'll see that if there's any oil on here, it shows up on here like you wrote on this with like a Sharpie or a highlighter. It'll come up. If I do this, and there's any oil in there, it'll just jump out at me on this lens paper. So make sure you've cleaned it, and then make sure you've also cleaned any of the other lenses that you've used, all right? Okay, make sure you're cleaning with lens paper that doesn't have oil on it, okay? Because you don't want to smear oil around. That's the opposite of cleaning your scope. And don't forget things like cleaning. Light, let there be light. Okay, good. Don't forget to clean things like your ocular lenses up here. Ooh, clean those babies. Oh, yeah. Oh, look. There's oil on the stage. Clean the stage. Oh, there's oil over here. Clean that. An often overlooked part of the microscope to clean, especially if you're getting a lot of stuff in, when you see a lot of extra stuff that's not actually your specimen, clean down here. Clean there. Because you can see all that dust and junk that gets in there. You can see it when you look through your eyepiece, okay? Clean there. Clean up here even, all right? So anyway, the main thing is make sure your scope is clean when you're done with it, okay? And here's what you need to do. Make sure you do these things before you put it away, all right? I'm gonna get that back to the scope view. First of all, turn the power off long before you unplug it. Don't unplug it with the power on, okay? That'll increase the likelihood that you blow the bulb down here, all right? So power off, okay? Make sure the stage is all the way down, stage all the way down, lowest power objective selected, okay? Stage all the way down, lowest power objective selected, okay? If your stage is way out, you can push it in, okay? If it's way out like this, push it in, okay? And you minimize the footprint, so to speak, of your scope, okay? And now you're ready to unplug it, okay? So don't grab the cord like here and jerk it, okay? Over time, that'll wear these cords out. You need to grab the plug firmly and pull it out, right? And now you are ready, if I can put that there, to wrap this baby, okay? So you need to, the best thing to do is to kind of pull the cord out and straighten it a bit, and then very delicately, okay, because you don't really want to, you want to treat this thing, treat it like your own and be gentle with it. So you want to gently wrap the cord several times around, like so, okay, being careful not to hit your objective lenses and so forth. And you might even, kind of stick it through at the top so that it doesn't, unwrap itself a little bit, okay? So it should be wrapped up, say, something like that, okay? Okay. So just to reiterate, when you're done with your scope, you're going to turn the power off. You're not going to unplug it. You're going to turn the power off. You're going to make sure, this is after you've cleaned it, of course. You can turn it off before you clean it if you want. It doesn't matter. But you properly cleaned everything. You've made sure there's no oil anywhere on the scope. You've turned the power off. You've made sure that the stage is all the way down. You've made sure that you've selected the lowest power objective, which is objective lens, which is the 4X lens for these scopes, okay? Then you've unplugged your microscope. You've carefully wrapped the cord around the neck, okay? And then you think you're ready to put the microscope in the cabinet. But you're not going to put the microscope in the cabinet yet, because you're going to say, Dr. Ramey, my microscope is ready to put away. And I'm either going to come over to you and look at your scope on your bench, or I'm going to ask you to bring the scope to me. And guess what I'm going to have? Lens paper. And guess what I'm going to check? I'm going to check everything, and I'm also going to check that there's no oil anywhere on the scope, on the stage, anywhere. And I'm especially going to make sure there's no oil on any of the lenses. And I'm going to pay special attention to the oil immersion lens. And if I find oil somewhere, or I find the stage up, or I find the wrong objective selected, then that could result in point deductions for the lab. Depends on the lab. I'm more forgiving in the beginning of the semester, the beginning of the term. But if it's midway through or second half of the semester and I'm finding problems with your scope, yeah, it's going to result in point deductions for the lab, okay? Every point counts. Don't tell anybody. Every point is important. Okay. So when I have given you the seal of approval that your microscope is indeed good to go, then and only then, oh, I forgot one thing. Well, I could go back and record this entire video all over again, but I don't want to do that. So I'm going to tell you something right now that's a big pet peeve of mine. Let me see if I can get this microscope to do it, even though I shouldn't do this. Do as I say, not as I do right now. Okay, don't do this. Don't scoot your microscope around. Okay? Of course I can't get it to do what I want right now, but sometimes, oh, there it went. Okay? Did you hear that? That's really bad for the microscopes. Okay? If you need to reposition the scope for any reason, then you need to gently pick it up, with 2 hands and reposition it forwards, backwards, sideways, whatever. Make your adjustments. Don't just grab the thing and start jerking on it, okay? Because if it does do that, it's really bad for the scope. And trust me, I don't care if I'm completely on the other side of the lab. I might even be in another room and I'll hear it. Trust me. And I will be standing next to you going, what's going on? Within seconds, okay? Don't do that. All right, so you're ready to go, ready to put the microscope away. I've told you it looks good. You are going to then hold it properly, okay? Here and underneath, all right, like so. You're gonna say, oh, I can't remember what my microscope number is. Look at it, S25. Oh, that's right, microscope number 25. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in spot number 26. All right, so make sure that when you put your microscope in, the oculars go to the back of the cabinet, not the front of the cabinet, towards the back of the cabinet. And I don't really care where I put it. I'm just gonna throw it in there. Nobody will notice. Don't do that. Put them back. Put your microscope back where it belongs, because I'll check. And if I forget to check, the lab technician, one of the lab techs will check. And trust me, you don't want a lab tech to tell me that one of my students put their microscope in the wrong position or something's wrong with the microscope. That is one of the worst things that can happen. Trust me. So, make sure not to put it in the wrong spot. Scope 25, spot 26. No good, okay? So I am going to move it over to spot 25, and I'm going to, unless there's other students trying to get into the cabinet at the same time, I'm going to go ahead and close it, okay? So that the doors aren't open and potentially in somebody else's way. Okay, that is how to take out your scope and properly clean it and put it away after you've used it.